Hello, I'm Steve. A little about myself. I'm a retired law enforcement officer with 20 years of service. I began my career in the jail, worked the road, and became an investigator. During my career, my training consisted of everything from SWAT to becoming a state certified crime scene technician. I've investigated crimes from thefts to homicides. After retiring and becoming aware of true crime and web sleuths, I started my channel for web sleuths to better understand the perspectives of law enforcement. Not only do we cover true crime, I go out into the field and assist families who have lost loved ones to homicide and their cases are considered cold. Join me as we look and bring attention to these critical cases.
Hello, everyone. Hope y'all are able to hear me well. And of course, I'm invisible. This is due to my superior packing skills. I was unable to get everything packed in my vehicle, and I forgot my camera and microphone and stuff. So you just have to bear with me on that. But Mrs. Steve was able to get the Google machine cooperating and at least give me a backdrop to speak of, and so that you at least have something to look at other than a dark screen. If you're new to the channel, I apologize for some of the production for tonight for the fact that I'm on the road. I've been working some cold cases in the Midwest, and then I traveled on to the West Coast where we will be conducting a search tomorrow. Been trying to get a search team out here regarding one of the cases that we have looked at. And so as we move forward, I'll let y'all know what the results are. Hopefully we'll have some something, some more findings or something in the next few days as we spend our times out on conducting these searches. But I want to thank our community and everything that y'all do for us, for the fact that without that community and without this foundation, I wouldn't be able to go out and work with the cold case families and also travel the country and work in the cases. Tonight, we're going to be looking at some of the pictures as I travel across the country. The pictures are in no certain order. I just, as I labeled them, whatever they came up. And so while some of you may recognize some parts of this country, I couldn't tell you exactly where each picture was taken or what state. But it's absolutely some beautiful country out there, and I want to thank my community and everybody for allowing me to come out here and experience the traveling the country, and these families. They appreciate everything that y'all do, who also allows me to try to assist them the best I can. But also I checked a little bit today, and I did some research on any updates for Richard Allen and justice for Abby and Libby. And if you have any information regarding Abby and Libby's case, absolutely make sure law enforcement has it. For as a fact, as we move forward seeking justice for their homicides, we absolutely want to make sure that law enforcement, prosecution, and the defense has all the information that is necessary to ensure justice. And let me make sure everything looking good as far as people able to hear. All right. Before I get too far behind, I see that Ruckus may be having a live that isn't feeling well. Ruckus and I have been passing text messages back the last day or two regarding one of our collaboration of a case that we're working on. But he hasn't mentioned that he wasn't feeling well, but that may very well be likely for the fact that as cops, we really don't amongst ourselves share too much information about how we're feeling. We just go ahead and do what we do. But we are sharing some information and coordinating some upcoming travels regarding another case, and he may be up sharing that at some point with y'all as we move forward. And I look forward to working with him and the information that he'll be able to gather for us. Hello, CJK, Olivia 2, Witchcraft. Hello, how are you doing? Hello, Barbara Hall. Good to see you. Mustang 65. Bling. Hello, Holly. Southern Gal True Crime. And let's see here. Mitzi Scott. Good to see everybody. Mustang. If y'all got any questions, you're new to the channel, absolutely throw them in there as we move forward. Hello, Ziggy. Good to see you. Jill Moser. Just checking. And if you have any questions or want to discuss any topic, absolutely throw it in there tonight, because as I'm on the road and there's not a lot of things that we do, as far as being able to research some of the, or do any type of CSI testing while I'm on the road. But we do, I just want to try to check in as much as possible. But some of the things that I looked into today as I was getting ready and was uploading some of the photographs, I also did some research about any Delphi updates. And I saw where Judge Gull had made some rulings that there was no evidence has been presented to the court that the state destroyed any exculpatory evidence, nor that the state acted in bad faith, which is huge for the prosecution, for the fact that there's not going to be any evidence that the prosecution has that would be suppressed due to any bad faith by law enforcement or by the state and the prosecution. And then there was another statement and finding by her that there's no proof of any evidence incriminating Holden, nor has any evidence been presented to negate the evidence offered by the state, which cleared Brad Holder of involvement in the crimes, which is not something that the defense wanted to hear, for the fact that they put a large part of the blame of involvement on Holder. And with that statement, it appears that at least regarding Holder, they may not be able to mention him. Now, as far as the other individuals, or possibly Odinus, or whatever you would call that group, would they be able to bring that in as third? I don't know. But Gull did order that the state is to turn over an Indiana State Police report that's related to the investigation. And so there's at least one report out there that the defense knows exists that they don't have, that the state has. And I don't understand exactly why the state hadn't already given it over, but that's going to be corrected as the Gull has ordered that it is to be released and turned over. All right. Just found that interesting. All right, let me go on down through here, trying to stay caught up just a little bit. Let's see here. Let's see. Hello, Cunningham. Good to see you. Southern Gal says that you're still in timeout. Yes, I'm still in timeout. Man, if I could just learn how to pack. I had everything laid out upstairs for the search because I was going to be in a pretty rugged part of the United States. And so I got everything ready for that. And for whatever reason, I walked right past my camera and my portable studio and left that in Georgia. Hello, SP74. Good to see you. Copper Horse, good to see you as always. Mustang 65 says justice for Abby and Libby. Absolutely, as always. Leanne Forsberg, good to see you. Hello, Steve. Just glad you're okay. Are you going to wear your hat? Stay safe in the heat. Yes, Gail, I have that packed along with the other items that you have given me. I have those. And but yes, the hat is safely in my vehicle in the back. And so it will be worn tomorrow. Thank you for that, for your kind gifts. Gail gifted 1 True Crime Web membership. And you see that little blue light over there? if I had the power, I'd be flashing that blue light. I guess I just have to do the click, 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 click that Mrs. Steve would do. A lot of people, they mention the clicks as much as they do the blue light. Miss Irene, is this Mr. Steve or AI? Oh, man. AI would probably be a better return on your investment. Hello, Ziggy. Hello, Wackadoodle. Oh, man, it's funny. SRB, good to see you. Yeah, like I said, I'm currently invisible right now. This is my this is me on stakeout. Yeah. Hello, Tony. Good to see you. Brenda, excellent. Yeah, it's a little bit different tonight. As far as, like I said, I'm one of these days I'll learn to bring everything. Hello, Gibbo. Hey, everyone, Mr. and Mrs. Steve. I'm going to catch the replay. I'm already in another live. Sorry. I blame the mustache. Love and peace. Yeah. SP74 says, yes, the defense got to add to their collection of denials. And yes, they'll have a checklist of all the denials that have been offered by Gulf. And they'll have probably a board of how many times the prosecution was granted theirs and the defense was not. Yes, Southern Gal True Crime had a really good show last night, focusing on Timmy Dees, and had Barbara Hall there as a guest. And if you do not know the case of Timmy Dees, absolutely go to Southern Gal's True Crime show from last night to her channel and watch it. Give it a thumbs up, share it, join her, because she is an excellent creator and is a vital part of the true crime community. So I thank her for everything she does. And if you don't know about Timmy Dees case, look it up. Hello, Bama Sin. Good to see you. All right, let me get down here. A few more, and there we go. So anyway, let's add this back to stage, and we'll go look at some pictures. Like I said, they're in no certain order, but as I come across the country and I'm driving, one of the perks of what I do, while I sit in the car and whittle away at those miles. Yesterday, I had a pretty good drive across the country. I drove over 1,000 miles in one sitting. I've stopped the vehicle I'm in. I think it gets about 560 miles per tank full. And so I had to fuel up twice to get to my destination. And so I put in over 1,000 miles yesterday and to get where I'm at currently. But this is some of the beauty of our country. And the traffic in some of these areas absolutely is minimum. And as you travel, even the interstate system, it's not like back east. You get around Atlanta, Nashville, anything on the East Coast, down into Florida, some of those metropolitan areas, traffic is horrendous. But when you get west of St. Louis, everything is so much nicer. Even some of the larger metropolitan areas from the Midwest on towards the West Coast, absolutely the driving and even the traffic jams are not really that big of a traffic jam that I've experienced so far. But yeah, there's some hills and rock and land formations across the country. It's absolutely beautiful. I took this picture because this here is the Kansas National Forest. You can see both trees. Uh, Not really, but someone had joked about that. Actually, uh, one of my search team members that I'll be meeting the next day or so, uh, they mentioned a national forest one time and was talking about a single tree. And so when I saw these double trees, I said, well, this is the Kansas version of the national forest. Not a lot of trees in the area I was at that time, but still pretty country. And like I said, they're in no certain order. And if you, some of these images are pretty clear, but some of them are probably a little bit out of focus for the fact that I'm driving and trying to maintain some type of control of my vehicle. But when you're driving some of these expansive areas out west, you can see across the horizon, and you can see that highway that is as straight as an arrow. And you guess how long is it going to take you to get to that horizon? And it's absolutely amazing, but beautiful country, seeing the rock formations, the gentle rolling hills. So I enjoy that so much, and I want to thank y'all for allowing me to be able to gain this type of pay for what I do. Let's see what else we have. Oh yes, and as I was going, it started getting a little bit cloudy, and there'll be another picture here shortly of a storm that I drove into. I think that I'm trying to think what state it was that I drove into. It was a horrible storm. You'll see a picture of it here in a minute. But the clouds were building, and it was once I got in that, the winds, I don't know if there was a tornado in it because there was some hail, but a very small hail that was in that front as I went through it. But it was raining cats and dogs. Raining absolutely cats and dogs. And now this was after the storm and some of the mountain ridges and some of the areas that I drove through. Absolutely gorgeous country. Now, I think this was the first time I had drove through this particular part of the country. And it was a little bit unnerving for the fact that you're driving along the base of where these rock slides have occurred. And I was watching them and I was thinking about, because there's signs everywhere that tell you that as you drive through these areas, watch for rocks and on the highways. And so you're thinking about landslides and hoping that there's not an earthquake or something that comes along and you're at the base of one of these things because I don't think you're going to make it out of it. Oh, man. Let's get back in here to check and chat again. There's Bama Sin, Jill Moser. Hey, Criminality. How are you doing? Another good channel, Criminality. Elevate the process. Hello. Nightbot's up and active. This is Steve. Should have put one of your creepy mannequins as your stunt double for this. I didn't even think of that, but yes, I need to have, when I get back, I'll do that just as a emergency backup. Yes, you've got an invisible cloak on, really, haven't you? Yeah, I'm in the Star Trek cloak. Yes, Gail, thank you for your gifts. And it will absolutely help. Everything from the walking stick on. Barbara says, this is creepy. This part of the country is creepy. I'm telling you, like I said, driving along some of that area, like I said, it was a little unnerving. You know, we have mountains on the east, but nothing like this. No, nothing like this. Miss Cyrene has a question. Mr. Steve, how hard is it working a case, then waiting for trial? Did you like or dislike the different DAs? When you're in the when you're processing multiple cases and you have a caseload, you don't have time really. I mean, you get the evidence, you get the confession or not, and once you have the evidence and you obtain your warrants and you have your search warrants and whatever evidence, and you prep it for trial and you put it in the file and you send it to the DA and it's in their hands. Sometimes, you know, you may never make it to trial for the fact that a lot of the cases are plea deals. But if it does go to trial, it's not a real big deal. You know what the evidence is. And it may be a year or 2 or 3 years down the road. It's not like what you see with the homicides where now when you're in the homicide part of it, it's the same. I mean, there's really not much difference in some of the felonies versus homicides because it's all part of it. Do you have certain DAs you like working with? Of course. Certain DAs were absolutely brilliant. And you had, you know, even the defense attorneys, we got along fine for the fact that we all understood one thing, that this is to make sure that the defense attorneys make sure that the evidence and everything that you bring to that court to convict their client, that it's on the up and up, and it is something that they're the ones responsible for that crime. And the defense attorneys bring that out and make sure it is. Do you win every case? No. But you strive to win every case, and you win far more than you lose in law enforcement. And that's the way it should be, for the fact that if you're losing a lot of cases, it means that you're going out and you're working on thin ice and not with the best evidence. Whereas if you have the best evidence and it's true and you did everything you could as far as dotting I's and crossing T's, there's not a lot of room for maneuvering for the defense. But waiting for trials never was really an issue because you had such a caseload. Didn't matter if you were working homicides or thefts, burglaries, or later on in my career, I was just CSI. I wasn't assigned to individual cases. But every investigator in our department, if they had something that had to be processed, they called me. And so while they were doing all the legwork and getting different things, all I was doing was processing and crime scenes and trying to get all the evidence for every crime scene. Didn't matter if it was armed robbery, burglary, some type of assault, homicide, or if it was just a death investigation trying to determine was it anything from natural to self to a homicide, because there's a lot of stuff, but there's a lot of things going on. I'm in a motel room and I think they're cutting down the motel outside or something. Elevate the process. Good to see you. Everybody, you could always sit one of your creepier dolls in the tears. Everybody thinks my dolls and mannequins are creepy. Mrs. Steve does too. I've been ordered several times to dismantle some of them for the fact that they, even when you know that you have them stored in a certain area and you forget about there being around a corner or in the closet or the foot of the stairwell, that in moments of having your mind sidetracked, that they barely miss getting dismantled by either gunfire or a knife or something. Hello, Karen Boardman. Good to see you. Yeah, this mountain ranch here is extremely beautiful, but it was, like I said, um, it was a little bit unnerving. And then, oh, this here, as I was driving up on the ramp, I had vehicles, so I couldn't really focus. But this picture here, as I was coming down the interstate, I saw it was Owl Canyon Road. So I took a picture for Owl on the Prowl. And so Owl Canyon Road is how come I took this picture. And unfortunately, it wasn't really in focus, but I couldn't stop and get knocked off the side of the road. Hughes says traffic and population gets pretty sparse north of Omaha, especially in Dakotas. I didn't go up into the Dakotas, but I went straight west. I think I was on 70, and I've been, I've traveled west on 10, 40, 80, and there may be one or two others that I've also, maybe 20 is also another one. I don't, but yeah, there's been far few. Hello, Farmer. How are you doing? Good to see you, sir. And then, now I don't know exactly. Maybe someone can tell me this of what this is. Best I can tell, that these portals or ports that you drive through, they're huge, they're fenced over. I never saw any traffic, never saw any road either side of them. Is this some type of out west where the game animals cross over the roads? Because these things are probably maybe 50 to 100 yards wide. And it was very strange. And because, like I said, when I saw it, and I could see it a mile away, and I started taking pictures of it. And the only thing I could think is either this is how they move cattle on government land from one side of the road to the other, or they allow wildlife to travel from one side of the road to the other. I don't know. I've never seen anything like it. I only went through 2 or 3 of these as I was coming. I think it was in maybe Wyoming that I saw these, but it was strange. Miss says, did you go through Colorado on I-70? Yes, I was. Now, and that was something else about, that's where Owl Canyon is just outside of Colorado. Now you mentioned it, but I was amazed at how large. I think I was coming out of Denver or Colorado Springs, one of them, but the metropolitan areas on the outskirts, the expanse of homes, absolutely amazing how large. And whereas in Georgia, you just don't see, I'm sure there's just as many homes and everything alongside the main highways, but out there you get in certain areas, whereas you can see the developments one after the other for miles and miles and miles. And it was quite strange. Big Sky Country ain't just in Montana. You should drive the Alaska Canadian, I guess, highway, 10,000 miles in 2 weeks. Yes, I did a trip all the way to the West Coast and back, and we did almost 10,000, just under. Mammoth said, Ruckus would beg to differ you on having vehicle under control. To hear him tell it anyway. Absolutely, that's what he does. Hello, Solly Sooth. Good to see you. I'm glad to see you're taking some time to enjoy the scenery while you're fighting the good fight. I enjoy it. Some areas, but you can only enjoy it as best you can at 70 to 80 mile an hour. Depends on what the speed limit is. Some of these areas are 70, 75, and 80. 80 was the highest that I saw as I've traveled the country so far. There may be some areas that's higher than 80, but I don't know. Elevate says, apparently there's a woman on loose in LA and no police in sight. She ditched a stolen car and on foot. I would probably agree that there's probably several women on the loose out there that have abandoned stolen vehicles. Witchcraft says, California did have an earthquake recently. Yeah, like I said, that was one of my concerns. This picture here, I just did a wide expanse of it as I was starting to come. And I think this is where I was coming into, I was in Colorado as I was approaching some of the mountains. I think, don't hold me to it. Because like I said, I didn't put them in any certain orders. Barbara says, no, Mr. C, this is creepy with no one there. Oh, talking about the true crime web, me and the cloaking device. Anna says, watch for rocks means the roadside banks are likely to lose a few rocks onto the road. If the area is dangerously unstable, it is taken care of. But I saw a lot of these rocks and as large as basketballs and small suitcases in the that would be a foot or two either side of the white line, well, towards the ditch more. I didn't see anything onto the that could have been struck by a vehicle or those that were on the other side of the white line in the ditch area may have been struck by a vehicle and knocked over there. But yeah, I was, like I said, for a Georgia boy driving through new territory and seeing some of those unstable faces, and it was raining at the time, and I couldn't really understand on some of those because with these mountain ranges, I mean, you're driving across a lot of the country, and as you get to these mountain ranges, you see the clouds building, and those clouds in some areas, I mean, they're dumping rain. There was one section I was in rain for coming through those mountain valleys. You're at the bottom of them, and it's raining cats and dogs, and all you can think about is, well, is this a landslide? Yeah, Farmer says, not as creepy as the Blair Witch Highway. Yes, that was over in Pennsylvania where I got on the Blair Witch Highway. It was crazy. Hello, Lori. Lori Lowe, good to see you. There you go, Karen. That's exactly. The woods in Pennsylvania, when I went up there, absolutely, I got in a section that the trees were in the edges of the asphalt. Never seen nothing like it. Hello, Owl on the Prowl. Did you see my earlier Owl Canyon Road? There you go. I took that just as soon as I was coming down the highway, and I knew I was having to get off on that exit, that I would get Owl on the Prowl there. This was a bad owl focus picture, but it's still pretty. And then, of course, we had these rock formations. You see a lot of this out there, too. And I probably got 100 pictures, but I'll be bringing some others. Now, this is the storm that you know that you're not going to miss it, that you can see for 20 miles. And the highway is heading straight towards it. Now, the winds was, I mean, I was shocked that it didn't blow a vehicle off the road. And but what do you do? I mean, everybody's traveling, they're moving, maybe not moving fast, but they're still moving, and there's nowhere to go, and there's no bridges, there's nothing to pull under to keep hailstorms off of you. And like I said, there was some small light hail in this storm. Winds were tremendous. And I watched it, and I watched the lightning as I approached it for miles. And where do you go? But I went through it. Yes, Anna, I hope you get feeling better. I see that you're not feeling well. Get well soon. Hello, Nanar. Good to see you. Gibbo's back. Wing says, all dolls are creepy. Yes. I like mine. SP74. Plus, they come alive at night. Oh, me. I don't, Mr. Steve. Hashtag mannequin lives matter. Oh, y'all make my night. Southern gal says, no dolls and no clowns. Baby Steve's that way. She does not like clowns at all. Blink says there's very little to see in the Dakotas. Yeah, I am. I can't. I'm trying to think. Have I been up there in the last couple of decades? I don't think I have. Okay, so he says that these are Animal Crossings. It's absolutely, like I said, that's the only thing I could make of it with this, because there's no guardrails, there's just fences on it. And I couldn't figure it out. I've never seen anything like it. And now, whereas in Georgia, they have signs of what type of critters crossing the road. Is it a deer? Is it a horse? Is it a bear crossing? Out here, they just say there's wildlife. And I saw some wildlife in the road. Some of it I didn't recognize. They were small, not really small, but probably 40 to 60 pound critters. I couldn't really tell what they are. And SP74 says wildlife crossing also. Okay. Mark says those are game crossings, buffaloes. Like I said, I couldn't figure out if it was going to be that wildlife or maybe cattle or what, but I saw 2 or 3 of them. And another thing, on some highways you get on that they'll just throw a sign up, DOT will, Department of Transportation is what we call them in Georgia. I don't know what they call them out here in the West. That turn on your headlights next 25 miles for your safety. And also they have signs out here of next 5 miles, high risk of accidents. But they don't tell you what the high risk of accident is from. Is it from an animal, drivers, road? I just don't know. Is this Wyoming? I think it is. I think these are from Wyoming. Yes, Animal Crossing. I'll tell you straight up, it's not easy to drive through a herd of buffalo. They are stubborn and will attack your car if you irritate them. I haven't seen any buffalo yet, and I don't think Yeah, Anna, like I said, I was lost as last year's Easter egg when I saw the first one. I had no idea what it was, and now I've speculated it was some type of wildlife thing due to the fencing and the width of it. But still, even those fences that were above it weren't that high, and I could imagine going under there if there's a big herd crossing and seeing one jump off that top into your vehicle. Bama says, headed to your neck of the Georgia woods Sunday for a week. Do you know if you'll be back in time for a Waffle House visit? I will not be leaving the West Coast by Sunday. So if you're staying up there for a week after Sunday, there's a possibility we'll be able to go to have a cup of coffee. Thank you, Bama said. Elevate is update. The lady suspect stolen vehicle in LA is in custody. All right. Let me get back down here where I was. And here's some more that if you blow this image up of these naked trees, I don't know if it's winter killed or bug infestation, but there's forest lands out there that there's nothing on some of those trees. Beautiful country though, absolutely amazing. Yeah, the urban sprawl along the Front Range in Colorado is absolutely amazing. And like I said, I'm sure it's in all the metropolitan areas. Just you can see it so well out in Colorado. Elevate, amazing photos. Glad you're safe, Mr. Steve. Yeah, like I said, I enjoyed as I cross the country and I get to see these pictures, and then these big turbines, I guess it depends on how southern you are. Alan Proud. If I didn't say hi to anyone, I'm old. It's very kind of you, Gibbo. Mr. Steve, you do the Lord's work. Mrs. Steve, you're definitely a good woman. Kept him straight. Absolutely. She's down in Florida taking care of the grandkids right now. You had to bring in the spiders. I don't know if there's any spiders. I haven't seen any or dealt with any. I've never seen a spider yet out west. I'm sure they have them, but I haven't experienced any. Now in Texas, I have. Now Texas has them everywhere. Nan R says, my husband and I took a cross-country trip and camped one night at Yellowstone. We couldn't camp in our tent in one spot, so we camped a quarter mile away. Fooled those bears. Loved that trip. I've spent some time out in bear country. Probably will be in some bear country in the coming days. But that's the last of the pictures of the turbine. We'll go back through as I get caught up in chat. If you got any questions on anything, absolutely let me know. But I just wanted to check in and let y'all know that I got rested up today, finished the last thing, got everything unpacked, and ready to spend some time in the wilderness for the next couple of 3 days. Hello, Boston Christian. Good to see you. This is good advice no matter where you're at. I've had a person out in Pennsylvania give me that advice. And Anna was that also is one that has given me advice about that whenever you're traveling out west, going into some of the desert areas that are the high deserts, as they call it out here, that you always fuel up wherever you're at, for the fact that you don't want to be caught without fuel. Because there's times you're out there and you may not, I mean, I've never been anywhere where I probably didn't see a car. There's certain stretches of areas out there you may not see a car for 10 or 15 minutes, but there's no guarantee that those cars are going to stop for you if you're out of gas. So, and then you're at the whim and good graces of whoever stops for you. Copfax country. Yes, I met up with Copfax in Kansas. Was it Kansas? It was either Kansas or Nebraska. I think it was Kansas. I can't remember. It's one of the two. Yeah, that's what they were saying, Anna, that it's wildlife migration. Never seen anything like it until I got there. Bet Mr. Steve has 2 buttons undone while he's invisible. Oh, man. Thank you, Holly. Appreciate you. But absolutely gorgeous country out here. Like I said, I didn't know what those were as he was driving across, but I took a series of pictures to make sure I could get a good picture. Well, I was at the wrong place and the wrong time for about 30 minutes to an hour because I watched it and I couldn't get away from it, and the road was heading straight towards it on that storm. Miss Cyrene says that Colorado has animal crossings under the road. Didn't see any of those. Should be a ruckus crossing sign. Yeah, there is. You have on my vans. I have to put hazardous materials on board when I haul Ruckus and his hair products. Hello, Karen. Justice for Doug Till. And if you don't know who Doug Till is, look up his case. It's another case out of Missouri, and Karen Langston is the mother. Also been fighting for justice regarding Doug. So absolutely look up that case. And thank you for being here tonight, Karen. No, I am afraid of clowns, and yet I bought 2 paintings from the artist who painted clowns. He even signed the glass to me, so I can't get rid of them without admitting that I made an expensive goof. Oh, man. I passed, actually, I saw, I don't know if I was in Idaho or not, but I saw the 65, less than 65, and open range. And I did see that. I can't remember if I was in Idaho or not. The best thing about buffalo, they taste delicious. That's funny. I'm curious who taught the wildlife to read the crosswalk sign. Oh, gosh. Monsoon season for Colorado. I think that storm may have actually been in Wyoming too. I can't remember. Is it, like I said, it was flat and a long way. I have never heard that. Gail says that, talking to Anna, that horses have the right of way in Texas, but no signs. You're just supposed to know it. I will have never known that. Gibbo, that Mrs. Steve's in Florida resting. She's not resting. She's got some grandkids and her parents to take care of. Oh, we got some code going on at Boston Christian. Just so you know, I know you understand another name. You're amazing to this community. They're talking in code. God's beautiful handiwork. Absolutely. There's some gorgeous country out there. I like this picture here. It's amazing. I was able to take it in the on the road that I was on. Okay, Gail. See you later. Karen says that rest areas when traveling west say check base of stool for snakes. I didn't stop at any of the rest areas, so I wasn't able. I wish I'd had, but I hadn't seen snakes. Now South Georgia is just about that bad. Anna says between Marsing, Idaho, and Winnemucca, Nevada, there's only one gas station, Jordan Valley, Oregon. Sometimes I run out of gas and it isn't a good thing. Well, I don't want to be there. Steve, was Ruckus supposed to be with you on this trip? He was the third choice. What happens on my trips is that when we have certain trips that we're working on and we're trying to gather teams, I have different teams across the country. And actually, one of my prior teams that Anna was a part of, one of those team members is going to be able to assist us on another search this week. I'm looking forward to that. And if Anna was feeling well enough, she might have joined us, and hopefully she does get feeling better and can join us. But if not, I will share the information with her, let her know. But I have several teams across the country. I have them in St. Louis, Carolinas, and then also on the West Coast. And so anytime that we can get within a few hours of those areas, I'll contact these teams. And but I had a team flying in on this one for the fact that that team specializes with cadaver dogs, and they had done a search and they wanted to return. And so they're coming, well, they should be here now, and I'll see them in the morning, and we'll continue the search and see if we have any results. But if that team hadn't been able to make it, if the other team, which is on the West Coast, couldn't make it, then of course Ruckus was going to fly out and assist me because I was coming regardless. Thank you, Southern Gal. Says Karen, I will share your son's story on my channel. Thank you. Does anyone else on this feed get premium treatment without paying? I hope so. This says, I was shocked when I moved to Georgia, what they call mountains, not dissing anyone. That's true. Because like I said, it was unsettling for a Georgia boy. I'm a flatlander compared to what some of these. Ruckus would be a good bear deterrent. No self-respecting bear would think of eating Ruckus. Yeah, I don't know why I would even, let a bear become harmed by eating Ruckus. Oh, man, that's clever. Ruckus was coming to assist or disrupt. I'm confused. A little bit of both. But anyway, I want to thank all y'all for coming here tonight, and I just wanted to give y'all a little bit of update of that we're still out here working, and I should be heading back to Georgia at the beginning of the week, and I want to thank all of y'all for being here. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up and everything. If you have any information regarding Abby and Libby, make sure that law enforcement, prosecution, and defense has that information as we seek justice for Abby and Libby. But y'all stay safe out there, guys, and we'll see y'all soon. And I don't know when my next show will be because I'm going to be out in the wilderness for a few days. But thank you, guys, and we'll look forward to seeing y'all soon, guys. All right.